everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and today I am here with my weekly WIP and Chat. If you're new or just aren't sure what that means, WIP stands for Work in Progress. In this case, I'm going to be doing a diamond painting. And chat just means we are going to chat and catch up a little bit today, talk about life, crafting, and YouTube and all that. And so feel free to pull out a project to work alongside me if you like. I know some people will treat this like a podcast. Just let me keep you company whether you're crafting or getting house cleaning done, running errands, that sort of thing. I'm just happy to get to spend some time with you today. I put up my weekly WIP and Chats on Monday mornings unless something comes up that throws a little bit of a wrench in my schedule, but thankfully that hasn't happened in quite a while. But I always just look forward to, like I am tonight, most nights closing out my weekend. It's Sunday evening and getting to talk about my week with you, and also reading your comments just to hear how you've been doing and what you're working on while we chat today. So let me share, as always, what I'm going to be working on and with, and you'll find everything linked in the description box below if anything is catching your eye. First, I'm going to be working on the kit Don't Leave Me Again, which we started in last week's WIP and Chat. I thought it would be really fun if the timing would have worked out for us to finish it during this week's WIP and Chat, but we're not quite there. We're so close. I have just over 2 sections left to go, kind of 2.5 here, and that's just not going to be possible to get through in one WIP and Chat, but I might finish it later tonight, even if I don't finish it in the next hour. Here is the original artwork. It is from Made and by the artist Cute But Weird, and is really, really, really cute. Interesting question for you guys, because I saw this come up when I did the unboxing video for this kit and have actually seen it pop up in other spaces as well. But when I referred to this animal here in the middle as a fox, there were some people that went, oh, I thought it was a squirrel. And it's so funny because I look at it and I go, oh, I could kind of see a squirrel as well. Is it actually a squirrel? Was I wrong here? And so now I'm a little bit unsure if this is a fox or a squirrel. So I always thought fox, but then when someone mentioned that, I kind of looked at it, I thought, I'm not sure. I should really send a message over to Made just to see if she has like the official word on it. So anyway, either way, it's a cute woodland creature that I think is just absolutely adorable, and I like the artwork a lot. So by the way, we're working upside down on it right now, and so you see that like bit of yellow right there, that is actually the top of this light coming out of the middle of the tree. So we're in kind of these top leaves and branches up here. I think we're right in this section right here at the moment. So and then I'm going to be I used this pen last week, but I couldn't not use this pen again this week because this was created for me by Bistro Blanks to match this pen specifically, this painting specifically. They made it for me as a sponsor of Drills and Chills and had asked what kind of kit I would be working on for the event, and then they made this pen for me, and so I just was like, I can't work on this kit and not use this pen. So that's my pen. And then my tray, I have not used this yet, but this is from Print Ensemble and is one of the Halloween trays they made this year. Little Frankenstein tray. They did send this to me to share, so thank you so much to the shop. And I have tested them out before and shown them on my channel, including testing it out in a WIP and Chat. And this is, I think they took some of my feedback into account, and I can see some of the changes that it looks like they've made. So I'm really looking forward to testing this out and giving my thoughts as far as what it is like to work with this particular tray. Then I'm going to be using Not Your Mama's Mud in my single placer, and Putty from the Creativity Squirrel in my multi-placer, and then this adorable minder is from Galloway's Gallery. So let me get my pen loaded up and ready to go, and then we can go ahead and get started. So hello, how are you doing today? I hope your weekend was wonderful and that your week is off to a good start. Hopefully in this week's WIP and Chat, even though I'm guessing you might be able to tell my voice still sounds a little bit hoarse, I am definitely hoping that I'm going to be able to get through this week's WIP and Chat without falling to pieces, kind of like I did last week. I'm really sorry about that. In retrospect, I thought, should I have gone ahead and just pulled that one down, or I probably should have just ended it once I got 10 or 15 minutes in and realized that my voice was seriously like going downhill in real time. But I was just very bound and determined to try to make it happen. But you know, sometimes I can get a little bit stubborn. So anyway, I am sorry about last week's WIP and Chat being a little bit on the shorter side. And I know sometimes it can be honestly distracting to hear someone feeling under the weather. So I hope that this week's WIP and Chat, I at least sound a little bit more normal. This bug, whatever this is, has stuck around longer for me than anyone else in the family. Micah never caught it, thankfully. Adam had it for like 24 hours and then was good to go. And then, oops, I don't think I scraped out. No, I didn't scrape out the old putty. Or hold on one second. And then Connor had it for a couple extra days. He actually missed a couple of days of school. He came home. Oh yeah, this wouldn't have come up in last week's WIP and Chat because this didn't happen till Monday. But Connor went downhill on Monday at school, and at the very end of the school day was telling his teacher, like, ooh, my throat feels funny, and ended up not having me come and pick him up because they were so close to the end of the school day. But then he missed Tuesday and Wednesday of school, but then he bounced back and was feeling great by Thursday. And I, honestly, up till yesterday was really feeling almost borderline, like, do I need to go to urgent care? Like, I'm afraid this has turned into bronchitis again. And because that's what happened the last time I had like an upper respiratory bug, was it like went into, well, I ended up getting pink eye, which was just fantastic, let me tell you. And then when I went to go get like diagnosed and treated for the pink eye, they were like, oh, also you have bronchitis. And I was like, oh, great, awesome, wonderful, delightful. So that happened, but I feel like I'm more on the mend today. So I'm hoping I can avoid a doctor's visit. So anyway, I at least feel like I have better energy and am more easily able to talk this week. So I'm going to count that as a major win. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely already an improvement in my opinion. I don't remember having like a ton of trouble with these trays from the shop last time, but I just like those just lined up like a dream. So that is nice to see. So I am trying to remember if I've tried putty from the Creativity Squirrel yet. Have I? This might be the first time I've used this putty. Lots of new stuff I've been able to try here in the past couple months, as we've had a lot of amazing sponsors for Drills and Chills, and I've been doing a lot of shopping, and also been very fortunate to have some things sent to me as well. So I really like testing out products that are new to me in WIP and Chats, because then I can sort of learn in real time and share my learnings alongside or with you guys. And sorry, I'm just pull out some trash drills. This kit has had some trash. I would say like an average amount compared to other kits, but, has overall, like, it's been a pretty good experience. There have been some interesting things I've run into with this kit, including, that it feels like some of the drills are like an older kind of style. It reminds me of like some of the changes in Diamond Art Club's drills, where some of the drills have like flat tops and seem to be like a little bit thicker, and then some of the drills are quite a bit thinner and have like pointier, like really pointy tops comparatively, and you can see it visually, the difference when you see them right beside each other. I don't know if there's any colors in this mix that really fit that, but there's some in the Fox's Face, and I'll show that to you whenever I do a post review on this kit, which will be probably sometime next month. But I'm liking how it's coming together a lot. The artwork is really, really cute. It's taken me a little bit longer to get through it. Honestly, given the size of this kit, I really definitely would have thought that I would have this done before this week's WIP and Chat. But I've been getting sidetracked by Pixels, which is that craft I was telling you guys about last week. And also just life has been kind of busy. We've had a lot going on this past week in general that has meant that I've had a little bit less time in painting time. It's mostly been really good things, and I'm not mad about it, but I'm glad I wasn't going to be trying to squeeze in any other projects. You know what else I think it was? I'm trying to think back. I think that I kit up this project in a hurry on Sunday, because I remember that, like, oh, that's right, I wanted to make sure that I worked on this kit in my WIP and Chat that week. So there were a couple little things that threw a wrench in, and I hadn't finished my dragon project yet for the month. So I think that's why. But I think that, I mean, given how there's not too much left in this one, I think it's safe to say it'll be an October finish for me. Definitely going to be my last event project for Drills and Chills, and probably my last seasonal project in general. I think that I'm going to probably spend the month of November just sort of following my nose and working on whatever I want to. It's not like I have any Thanksgiving kits I would work on, but This Drills and Chills really found myself, not entirely on purpose, working on a lot of fall type seasonal kits and very, very few in the way of like more Halloween-esque kits. So where in past years I feel like I've had more like witches and other more Halloween imagery, this year has been so much heavier on like fall scenery and images and stuff like that. And it comes from a variety of reasons, a variety of places. I think a lot of it was me wanting to work on some smaller kits again still, and also just wanting to work on kits from a variety of shops. I was really happy to be like, okay, over half of the kits that I worked on were a variety and not just Diamond Art Club. So that was good. And a lot of small shops I felt like I got to really represent, including like even representing DP with Sparklers when I did do one of those Diamond Art Club kits. And so I just felt pretty good about getting to share lots of love across lots of shops. And that being said, I feel like there's so many Diamond Art Club kits in my stash that are calling my name. I imagine that it's probably what I'll work on next. But I have definitely the past week been starting to feel, I hesitate to call it burnout. And I feel like I have been talking about this a lot. And so I know it's not always really fun to hear someone talk about, but it's just the reality of it is that I have been feeling some fatigue with, I don't think it's necessarily like, it's not definitely not specific to this project. This kit is great. There's not anything wrong with it. And I'm enjoying a lot about it. But I think it's just sort of fatigue from feeling locked in to seasonal kits, I think, for a couple months. And it just sort of, I don't know. It's just been a kind of a different pace of things, I suppose. And I was really tempted. This probably sounds so silly, but I was a little bit tempted to almost go back and rewatch the video that I made, I think it was early this year, on tips for handling diamond painting burnout. And I think that in that video, I covered some things like tips on how to recognize it and how to handle it and that sort of thing. And I know that some of the things that I talked about in there included just accepting, like being like, okay, yes, I am dealing with burnout, instead of trying to like force my way through it or just sort of being like denial about it or whatever. And again, I don't really feel like this is actual burnout. I think that I just am, like I've said in recent weeks, just sort of feeling ready to be able to move on and work on other kinds of kits. I just didn't do a very good job of pacing myself this year. Like I spent a lot of time in September working on my, sorry, I was working on a cough drop. That's why I hear the awkward pauses in my sentence sometimes. A lot of time in the month of September working on my cross-stitch conversion project and finishing that, which was really exciting. I'm probably feeling a little bit of letdown from that still. But basically what I'm trying to spin this into is that I want November to feel almost like a self-care type month. And that includes, well, like with regards to diamond painting and whatnot, where I just want it to sort of feel like, okay, I'm not going to worry about, I realized I didn't fix the zoom on the camera to really help you guys with staying in focus with where I'm diamond painting. So hopefully that'll help there. Where I just want it to be about like, okay, let me really just sort of follow what feels like it's going to feed my soul and be really super enjoyable when it comes to diamond painting. And so maybe a rainy day kit will be in order maybe, or just, I really am not going to, I don't know if I'll participate in any events. There's some great events happening next month, but I just don't know. I don't know if I'm going to try to squeeze anything big in like that next month. So what color to grab next? I'm just going to follow my nose. I think that's the right call. I have some kits in mind. I mean, I have some kits on the way from, like Diamond Art Club is sending me, there's going to be some kits coming in that are my belated like Christmas and holiday sneak peeks. And the way that I am so tempted to work on a Christmas kit this early, oh my gosh, especially that stitch kit that I did find and share in an unboxing earlier this week, which no, that wasn't sent to me by Diamond Art Club, but it's representative of just how so many of these holiday, almost said Halloween, no, like Christmas winter kits are grabbing my attention and making me go, I don't normally like go for Christmas or anything this early. There's something about these kinds of kits that are just really calling my name right now. So, so let's talk about some of those things. So first, like I said, I finally did find the kits that I was on the hunt for, going to lots of different JoAnn's. And let me quickly share some of the tips that I have for those of you that might also be on the hunt. So I probably visited, quite honestly, like a dozen different JoAnn's in my rough area in the past couple of weeks. And I live in Southern California, so like the furthest I drove to get to a JoAnn's even was still just 35 minutes. It was not far from my home, so I know I'm lucky. A lot of people are like, I have one JoAnn's within 45 minutes of me. And here's what I really did notice is I found these Christmas kits at two different stores. One store had 2 of the 3 kits, and the other store had two of the 3 kits. Like both of them had the Monsters Inc. kits out, but only one had the like Mickey ornament and only one had the Stitch. So what I ended up having to do was get them from some kits from two. I had to go to 2 stores basically, and that's where I found them. But all of these stores were in the process of unloading Christmas, and the 2 stores that I did find kits at were larger format JoAnn stores. I actually at one point found myself checking Google Maps and looking at Street View to see if I could tell if it looked like it was a larger format JoAnn store as opposed to like one of the really small ones with like kind of lower ceilings and stuff. And there aren't as many that are that bigger size. And it was the 2 stores that I went to, 2 of the 3 stores that were that larger format size were the ones where I found the Christmas kits. So I don't know if it's like a staffing thing. I don't know if it's like a space thing, like if possibly these other stores won't even get these kits eventually because I don't know if they're going to have the space like to have that dedicated end cap for Christmas diamond paintings. I'll be really curious to see. I have a small JoAnn's that's just 5 minutes from my home, just around the corner practically, that I will check in on and I'll report back if I happen to see them there, and maybe they'll end up online at some point. I don't know. But I definitely had the best luck with those bigger stores. Now, what was really discouraging to see is that the vast majority of these JoAnn stores were really not in great shape. Like the floors in so many of these JoAnn stores, the floors were trashed, and like as in the tiles, like there were like broken tiles and patches of floor, like subfloors showing through, and just generally felt like they weren't able to even be well staffed. Like how would they keep up with that sort of thing and with everything there is to do? So I'm a little bit nervous. Like I'm thinking, is JoAnn's going to go out of business at some point or like go online only? Because I just don't see this being something that continues to attract customers, but I'm not a business expert at all. I just kind of was alarmed when I realized that like, oh, this is basically the norm, and it's not like California gets extreme weather, so I don't know what's happening like with the floors. I don't know, but it was kind of rough to see and kind of sad to see, honestly. And I did feel bad for, I'm not blaming any of the employees or anything, but yeah, so that was just an observation that I had. So yeah, if any of you are on the hunt for those kits, best of luck. That's just the most information or suggestion that I have to share. I've been watching the JoAnn's website and gradually seeing them add Christmas diamond paintings to like their Christmas diamond painting section. So maybe those Diamond Art Club Disney Christmas kits will end up there. We'll see. But I genuinely loved getting to unbox those kits. That Stitch kit just grabbed right a hold of my heart, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I will work on a Christmas kit really early. But I do also have the Diamond Art Club Stitch kit, the one that released on the Diamond Art Club website this past Wednesday. That is also on its way to me as a late sneak peek. There are just some big delays on stuff getting to the warehouse, unfortunately, and the kits that I have for sneak peeks just unfortunately happen to be ones that were affected by those delays. So I was really enjoying watching some of my fellow fabulous content creators do their sneak peeks for the holiday releases recently and this past weekend. Let me tell you what. What did you guys think? Now, Diamond Art Club's not the only company at all that's been doing these holiday releases recently. There's been a ton. Diamond Art Club is just the one that I am personally the most familiar with. I am keeping an eye on seeing what other companies are doing too, especially small shops. But I really was just like, I could turn into a Donna Gelsinger fan because, oh my gosh, the amount of beautiful Christmas scenery that was released by Donna Gelsinger is just, oh my gosh. If you're a big Donna Gelsinger fan, I feel like you were probably doing a lot of shopping this past weekend. But I have 2 kits that are arriving tomorrow. I believe it's called A Cozy Christmas by Aria Illustrations. It's one of the gal that's like curled up and there's the Christmas tree and all like the details. Like there's like cats curled up there too. And she's by the window reading a book. That kit is beautiful. And that is one that I'm extremely tempted to work on this Christmas. And then I have the Mrs. Butter D, the holiday drink one, that should be arriving tomorrow as well. So I didn't end up buying any though. I have been really pretty strict with myself as far as being on a very, very low buy. And so I'm tempted though. So the day that this goes up, so Monday, Diamond Art Club is releasing some really gorgeous mini dazzle kits. In particular, they're releasing a Lunar New Year themed one today that is just... I love it. I love it so much. And so I think I want to buy it. I think I have to have it. Have to. You know what I mean. And I also keep going back to the Christmas releases this past weekend. And while there's a couple of kits that made it, there's I think 3 or 4 that made it to my wish list. There is one in particular that I just keep going back and looking at and going, but I would be really disappointed if this one sold out and got discontinued. Like really, really, really disappointed. And that's the kit by Miss Holly that is, it's of the Nutcracker scene. It's with like Clara and stuff. So I don't remember the exact name of the piece. I'm sorry. But that one, I may pick that up with the Lunar New Year mini dazzles tomorrow and see. I hope that will get me to the free shipping threshold and then I can call it good. So I like the companies are trying to do these Christmas releases earlier so that if people want to get kits and work on them for like this upcoming Christmas holiday, it's an option. So we'll see. I also know that Black Friday is coming up. I have wish list already with a couple of shops that I'm like, if they do a Black Friday sale, I might be ready to do some shopping. So I don't know though. We'll have to see. I am remaining on I'm trying to stay on a pretty tight budget and be just really very, very careful and deliberate and just very thoughtful and intentional. Grab a thesaurus. What other word can I throw in here? I'm just being careful. I'm just trying to think through the kits that I am buying and what I am buying. So, while also trying to, support small shops and all that sort of stuff too. So we'll see. I am still loving, I mentioned earlier, those Pixels crafts. I am finding myself trying to like not work on them too much because I'm trying to draw out how long I have them to work on, because it's like diamond paintings. Like once you do them, it's not like you can redo them unless you buy a whole nother set. I'm enjoying it a lot. I don't think it's going to be for everyone. It requires a lot of fine motor skills and a lot of like really, really up close, precise detail work. Like you're working with tweezers and you're working with an extremely thin margin of error, and like thinner even than I think diamond painting. And so that's the main thing I've seen from like fellow diamond painters that have tried the craft, tried Pixels, is I feel like most of them are going, ooh, this is just like, it's just a little bit too detailed for me. Like I don't, it's finicky with tweezers or something. It's just not for me. And I think that's completely understandable. There's something about it that I'm just really thoroughly enjoying. And so I'm anticipating that really it's probably going to be a craft that I rotate in with diamond painting, not necessarily like in my videos like these, but just in my personal crafting time. Like they'll probably just get rotated in relatively regularly. And maybe once kind of the initial like obsession kind of dies off a little bit, I may spend a little less time on them, but I foresee them being something that stays in my rotation, especially if I am traveling or something like that. I think that Pixels will be something that I lean heavily on to take with me because they take up very, very, very little space. especially compared to diamond painting. I could totally do it on a plane. And it just, it would take up less space in my suitcase even. So that's kind of how I imagine it'll work out, but we'll see how it actually works out. But I'm not mad to have another craft in the mix. And I have seen, a couple of people that have decided to place an order and give them a try. And if you're one of them, you'll have to let me know what you think and what your experience has been like. And it's really okay if your experience has been, not for me. Not every craft is going to be for everyone. And I feel like that's okay. So you guys, we actually finished this section. So I'm going to just take a second here to move my canvas over a little bit and then make sure the camera is still focused and we're all good to go in that sense. This should be pretty quick here. Let me just make sure I don't lose my pen rolling off the table or anything like that. Move my container slightly. Let's move this over. Get you out of the glare as much as I can. How about, I think that'll have to do maybe about there. There's I dump my trash drills for the moment. Let me see when I peel this back if the glare maybe isn't as bad. Oh yeah, because I have this folded over. Give me just 1 second. I need to lay another layer of washi tape. You can see I didn't prep terribly well ahead. I don't know why I normally do my rows of washi tape all the way across when I open up a new row. I don't know why I didn't get to this one. And also I am well aware there's not a washi tape border on this canvas right now. What happened was that I had gotten a matching washi tape roll that just came in a few days ago that I knew I wanted to use with this kit. It's beyond kind of the frame long term, but I haven't opened up the box that it came in yet. So I'm going to put it on kind of here just after the fact, and it'll still keep dust and dirt from getting in it long term, but no, it wasn't there to look cute when I was working on it. But honestly, you guys, this is kind of just a little bit of a representation of my some of the just general fatigue I guess I'm feeling with regards to diamond painting. And so I'm just adjusting the focus here. And how there's some things that I haven't gotten as excited about where it's I normally really do enjoy pulling matching accessories and stuff, but I'm not having quite as much fun with it this go around, which, I don't love that for me or for anyone. Let me grab a quick drink of water. I'm trying to stop my throat from acting up at all. I had my Patreon live stream earlier today, and I was talking to them for 2 hours, and so this happened a couple months ago too, where I was shoot, my monthly live stream ended up being on a Sunday for them again, and I was Sundays when I do my WIP and Chats, and my live stream always ends up being in the evening, and so I stream for 2 hours talking everyone's ears off for 2 hours, and then I have an hour to put the kids where I'm putting the kids to bed, and then setting up to film my WIP and Chat, and then I'm sitting down and filming for another hour. So it's an exercise in vocals. So anyway, so what was I talking about? I completely lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, you guys. Pixels, something else. I don't know. It's okay. Ambivalence towards certain parts of diamond painting. Yeah, so, but it'll come back. It'll come back around, I think. Yeah. So, I also heard a couple of people say when I mentioned this in that live stream, I was oh yeah, so I'm just feeling this fatigue, blah, blah, blah. And there were a couple of people that in there were oh, thank you for saying something. Honestly, I've been feeling kind of the event fatigue too, because 2 months can feel for some people a long time. So just know if that's you, you're not alone. It's okay. Your event mojo will come back too. It always does for me. So just take breaks, do whatever you need to do. So here's what else is going on. I did get to spend some time with friends on Friday night. I'd mentioned it, I think, in last week's WIP and Chat that I was really hoping that we'd be healthy enough to still be able to do that. And I'm happy to report that we all were. I had let them know, I'm I got this scratchy throat, and here's what I've got going on. I said, I really don't feel like it's something that's contagious, but I'm just going to be totally upfront with you in case you'd rather reschedule. But we all agreed. They said kind of what was on my mind, which is just that we've had this on the calendar for over a month, and it has been an incredibly long time since our whole families have been able to get together. And so we really want to make it happen if we can. And so we did. And it was such a nice visit. And these are friends that have been dear friends of ours since we moved out here to California from Ohio. And we've known them basically the whole time that we've been married. We got married, we moved out here. That was a crazy summer. I've mentioned it before, but I graduated from college, got married from I got married a couple weeks later, and then a month later we moved from Ohio to California. It was big summer. Big summer. I actually do not recommend. I don't know how we handled it so gracefully, honestly. I feel like if I tried to do something like that now, I just would fall to pieces. I don't know how, but we did it, and here we are. And I remember we did have a lot of fun. Like there were stressful things about it, but also it was an adventure. It was a lot of fun. So, but we shortly after we moved out here got involved with a church. And nearly the first weekend that we went to this church, we got involved with a newlyweds small group, kind of a larger group that had small groups within it, and met some people that have been near and dear friends of ours since then. And so, these friends that we got to see and spend some time with were the ones that we just were really the closest with and have been able to stay in touch with really over the years, because we talked a lot about how it just feels like once you have kids, that really can change a lot, because it changes a lot about just sort of what your availability is and where your focus is at, and just all sorts of things about your life. And so, we talked a lot about, there are these mutual friends of ours that, we've lost touch with for whatever reason. And a lot of it just has to do with, how much time and energy you genuinely have, even if there was absolutely nothing malicious about it. But that being said, I'm just so glad that these are the kinds of friends that it's like, it's okay. It's all right that we haven't managed to get our whole families together. And by that, I mean, like, not just like, oh, the girls get together or the guys get together, the husbands get together, the wives get together. But like, we got together and we also had our kids with us, and it was all of the adults got to spend time together, and was much needed. We hung out for a few hours, and unfortunately our kids are just an age where it's like they can't hang crazy late, but they also just don't seem to like go to sleep in spaces like outside of their own at the moment. So it was like they came over for dinner and we got to spend some time together, and then we kept the kids up a bit late, but then it was like, okay, well, time to go home. We used to be able to do things like do a game night or something after the kids went to bed, and weren't able to do that this time, and I miss that. But hopefully, everything's kind of a phase. Maybe things will swing back around and we'll be able to do something like that again soon. But so that was really good. It was good to have friend time. And even though, yes, I am an introvert to the max, I do still need and crave that kind of time too. So it was good. That was Friday night. And then Saturday, we went to a trunk or treat type event. It wasn't just a trunk or treat. Like, they had a lot of other activities and stuff too. That was actually in an IKEA parking lot. I guess this was like the 5th or 6th year they had done it. And Adam's sister had invited us to come down and go with them, and his mom came up and went and stuff. And it was a little chaotic, I'm not going to lie, but it was the first chance the kids got to wear their costumes. They got to do all this stuff together, and got some candy, got the first, batch of candy for the Halloween season. It was a little hectic because it started technically at 3, and we got to the parking lot like right around 3. It took us a while to even get into the parking lot because of some traffic. And we were lucky enough to kind of park right about the same time as Adam's sister, because we were, coming in 2 separate cars and stuff. And both of our kids, at least, were had costumes that they couldn't wear sitting in the car, but it was really easy to just pop on over their regular clothes, which was just as well, because oh my gosh, the number of times Micah would be like, costume off, costume on. It was so much. But thankfully his costume was kind of this light fabric that I was able to just kind of fold up and tuck under my arm when he wanted it off. He was I found a traffic light costume for him. That's what he ultimately landed on. He had said Buzz Lightyear for a while. For a hot second, he said Woody, and then like Sheriff Woody, and then was like, oh no, traffic light. So got one from Amazon, and it works great. He's super excited, but I think because it was kind of hot, I think he just would decide like, oh nope, he wants it off, and then he'd suddenly, 10 minutes later be like, I want it back on. And it was easy enough to pop on and off, but it was chaotic enough that I was just like, really, again, right now? And then Connor was Minecraft Steve, and he was really excited for it. It has this big like blocky kind of almost like foam material type like shirt that like goes over his shirt, and then he had this like kind of square face covering, which unfortunately caused some problems because he had no peripheral vision, and he kept like running into things and tripping, and oh my gosh, poor guy. He's okay, but he took like one rough fall at one point when we were finally about to actually go in. And it was like then the mask was like, okay, we're just done. He wanted to be done with the mask at that point, which I can't say I blame him. But yeah, we had gotten there at 3:00 and we're, walking, and then it looked like they hadn't even started yet. It was 3:20 by the time we got kind of over to the area they were actually doing it. And all we see is this just giant line. We were like, what's going on? And we're still not entirely sure what happened, but like we were waiting in line, and it was at least 3:30, I think, ish. I don't remember exactly. We were waiting for a long time before they actually opened it up and started letting people in. And so we were it was hot again. Southern California, it's our fall weather doesn't even really start till November. Like it was 85 or something, which like normally wouldn't be that bad, but when we're staying out and there's like everyone's like in costume and stuff, it was a little bit much. And so the kids were kind of whiny, but then we got moving. They got to like trick or treat and do other fun stuff, and they did okay. I don't seem to always handle stressful situations well, and that's something I'm trying to work on, like with just how kind of hectic things felt. I sometimes just kind of felt overstimulated and stressed, and it's like I got to figure out ways to kind of handle stuff like this a little bit better so that I'm not adding to the kind of chaos that's going on. But overstimulation is tough sometimes, but we did have a good time. We had a nice time, and we'll see everyone again for a trick or treat. I don't think we have any other Halloween events. There's like a Halloween parade at the kids' school as usual, but we're not doing any other like trunk or treat or fall festival type events. Oh, except for on Wednesday we'll do our annual pumpkin patch trip, but they don't usually go there in costume. We usually just go and do more like pumpkin patch type stuff. It's cute. There's like a train and stuff as well. The kids will like to ride the train, and there'll be some like games and activities, and there's cute like photo spots where we've taken photos with the kids almost every year since they were babies. And so that's just like, the mom in me is very happy to have those pictures year over year. So I hope that they never get rid of these particular like photo spots, because I count on them every year at this point. But yeah, so lots and lots and lots of fall happenings this week. It's been a lot. There was another kind of trunk or treat event that we had originally been planning to go to yesterday after the IKEA one, and we just decided we're like, it's gonna be too much. Like let's call that first one good. That was great, and we'll still have the Halloween parade and the pumpkin patch and like actual regular trick or treat. So I think that was the right call. I don't want to overdo it too much. And the kids were honestly pretty wiped when we got home too. They just kind of like both picked out a piece of candy and then just sacked out on the couch. So I'll call it a win for them. They had a good time. We also got to go to an assembly at Connor's school, which I know sounds probably really boring, but it was for Connor's class. And it's this thing that they do that I think is like a kind of a statewide type program that a ton of schools do this. And it was this like 2.5 hour program, which sounds like a lot, but it was really highly interactive, and parents were invited. And this was the thing that Connor had been working on, memorizing a fact for. And he was really excited about it, and we were worried that he wasn't going to be able to go because we thought, oh no, he's still going to be sick. So really relieved that he was well enough to go, and he was so happy to get to go. And his little face, he always just lights up and is so excited when we can make it to stuff like this. So really happy we got to go to do that. And I'll tell you what though, 2.5 hours is a long time for a program. Even though like the guy that was running it was really engaging and had all these different ways to keep the kids like involved and moving and stuff like that, it was still a lot. I was like, this seems like a little, just a tiny bit excessive. It was a lot. But the fun thing too, though, was like I mentioned, I grew up in Ohio, and so anything that we really were learning about state history was obviously very specific to Ohio. And so I found myself sitting there going, oh, actually, I'm learning a lot here. This is really interesting about kind of the history of California and stuff. So, you know, it was educational for me too. And I am really not, I'm really not a history buff at all. I struggle to retain things like, you know, names and dates and like just really little numbers and stuff. I fully understand like how important it is, like how important history is, especially in the sense of sort of understanding the context in which like our world works today. It's like, well, this works this way because here's what happened in history, like here's what led to this and X, Y, and Z. But just when it comes to like, okay, names, dates, and just sort of more dry facts, I can't retain it. But this was really interesting because it did talk a lot about things like context of things and whatnot, and it was very, very interesting. So I feel like I learned some things. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to smack the camera there. And I had a good time. And not just because Connor got to read his card and was very proud of himself. So it was good. And then we did have a little incident with, which we're kind of still dealing with a little bit, where one of our cats is a little bit under the weather. We did have to take her in to the vet earlier this week. Oops, sorry, man. I guess I'm just working in a spot on this diamond painting that I'm really close to the camera. Try to be extra cautious here. And we're still kind of like trying to figure out like, okay, can we pinpoint, you know, what the issue is and kind of help her heal up and stuff. But any positive thoughts you have to send her way would be great. She's, like I said, her name is, did I say this? Her name is Dolce. She's like around 14 years old, and so she's a senior kitty, but is mostly acting like really normal and mostly herself. But yeah, just some things we're a little worried about. So hoping we can get her feeling really back to normal here as soon as possible. But so that has been part of our week as well. And then upcoming this week, like I said, lots of fall fun and other things going on, and that includes my mom flying into town on Tuesday. So tomorrow, the day after I'm putting up this WIP and Chat, I'm going to be going to the airport to pick her up, and I am really, really looking forward to her visit. Whenever she comes out around this time of year, she's always going with us to the pumpkin patch. Like, she's been a part of that tradition for a long time too. And so she's coming out for that. She's also coming out a little bit later this year because she said she wanted to be here for my birthday. She's always here, or almost always here over Halloween. But this year, I think she's just like coming out a little bit on the later side as opposed to coming out like a week earlier. So we'll get some time with her going into November, which will be wonderful. And you guys were so sweet the last time that she was here, and she was on a WIP and Chat here with me. So I'm, if you're interested, I'm thinking that I may have her join me for a WIP and Chat while she's here again. I'm sure is going to be bringing a diamond painting with her. And maybe I could find like some fall, related questions I could ask her if there's other things you guys would be interested in hearing us chat about or hearing her share about. Feel free to let me know in the comments or shoot me an email. I know she's excited to come out again and get family time with us and with the boys, and I'll have to see if Connor's ready to do another sleepover. When my mom's here, we usually have Connor, which he's totally on board with this. He actually loves it. It's like a little sleepover, but he will sleep on an air mattress in our room, and my mom will sleep in his bed. So I don't know if we'll transition that to like my mom sleeping in Micah's room and Micah sleeping in our room. But Micah's still in a place where he really, really needs kind of that like structure and having like his space and stuff for bedtime, like in order for him to actually even sleep well. So I don't know about trying to move Micah into our room instead. I think Connor is probably the safer bet, especially as long as he's still, happy and good with that too. So we make it work. We live in a small space, but I'm obviously really grateful for the space that we do have too. So yeah, looking forward to her visit. We'll, do lots of diamond painting, and I don't see her being a Pixels fan, but I'll show her them just to see if she's at all interested. And that shouldn't affect any of my filming or anything, because I usually film like after my kids go to bed, and when my mom is here, she's going to bed not too long after my kids go to bed. She often will mostly stay on Ohio time, and even then, when our kids are going to bed, like that's on the later side for her Ohio time bedtime wise. So, yeah, I shouldn't mess with filming too much. I do have some things pre-recorded already, but there'll always be unboxings and other stuff to get to put up too. But what else other things happening this week? So we're gonna also squeeze in our last day of swimming. Our neighborhood pool stays open through the end of October, and Connor has just been no, okay, that wasn't as bad as it could have been. Okay, we're fine, everything's fine. Connor, just our little fish this summer, talk about night and day from the beginning of summer to now. He just is really wanting to squeeze in as much swimming as we possibly can before the pool is closed until, was it April, May? And so it's on the chillier side, it's getting cold enough overnight. Man, that water is brisk when you get in. But we're going to squeeze in one more day, either, today or tomorrow, or sorry, Monday or Tuesday, and be like, okay, and here's our last hurrah. And then it's like, okay, you can swim in our bathtub. I don't know, put on goggles or something. So I love how comfortable he's gotten in the water, and Micah too. Micah isn't, swimming yet, but has still gotten, generally speaking, more comfortable in the water. And I think next summer I think he'll be just the right age and just sort of the right kind of readiness to get some of those swim lessons and get some, better actual swimming skills. And that'll make me feel better just for sake of safety, because at this point, it's like, even if we don't necessarily get in the water with them, I am watching like a hawk for Micah, because just for safety. And I'm like, no distractions, no phone, no nothing, just eyes on him. So yeah, anyway, that's on the plan for this week. And then this week will also be the end of Drills and Chills. So a lot happening this week. There won't be a weekly video for Drills and Chills. Week 8 was my last weekly video, and our wrap up is not going to be ready for Saturday. It's going to take us some time to go through the entries and make sure, and we've got everything valid and kind of squared away and everything, eliminate duplicates and all that, and then draw our winners and make sure we verify them and check their start photos and such. And so that's going to take a bit of time. That's definitely not going to be ready to go up right away this weekend. Lindsay and I have been trying our best to stay on top of things, but I think we've done okay this year, and managed to not fall too far behind. But every once in a while, just especially with our kiddos, we'll just get hit by minor little curveballs, or just life. If we both just have a lot going on life wise. So, but we're not as behind as we could be, or as I suppose we sometimes have been in the past. So, yep, thankful that I get to host with someone that just, she gets it. She's in a similar spot, and we're able to tag team things really well and make it all happen. So, but it is going to be bittersweet to have Drills and Chills coming to an end. As much as I was talking earlier about just sort of being kind of fatigued, being kind of ready for it to be over, there's a lot that I love and enjoy about it. I'm always excited about it, especially when it rolls around the next year. And that reminds me of all the ways that I do love it and what I like about it when it is actually actively happening. So yeah, it'll be it'll be bittersweet to have it be over, but I have to start coming up with things to do on Saturdays for videos again. That has been one upside, is like I know what my video is going to be. One of my videos is going to be every single week for 2 months, and that in and of itself, it's nice to not have to plan that. I just know what it's going to be. So yeah, just big changes ahead. Are there any events coming up in November that you guys are going to join in on? Even though I'm not necessarily planning to, I would still love to hear about what you're going to be potentially doing. There's a diamond painting events group if you're looking for ideas and where to start with sort of finding out about events happening in the community. And there's some Instagram pages that help cover it as well. So lots of resources out there. I suddenly feel like I'm about to sneeze. I'm trying to see. Nope. Okay. And the other big thing, just to add to like the craziness of this week, why is it like some weeks just are very, very open and nothing is happening, and then other weeks there's something, like there's multiple things a day, not just even one thing a day. I'm going to be seeing some friends today. So I don't know if I should share yet. I mean, Jade is one of them. Drive out and see Jade. But she's got someone visiting her from the diamond painting world that I am going to go see and spend a little bit of time with. So I need to figure out with Adam what our morning is going to look like, if like maybe which one of us should get up with the kids and how that should look. Because I'm going to try to get up and go pretty quickly in the morning so I can get some time with them. And then I'm going to try to be back in time to, like, at least for dinner, probably not to get the kids from school, but for dinner at least. Because Jade's like a bit over an hour from me if there's no traffic. So I'll also base it a little bit on traffic. But it's going to be a busy week. It's going to be a very busy week, but hopefully a really, really good one. I'm praying for good things to happen, and yeah. So, and then other updates. Let me see, what else do I have really quick. Connor and Micah have had some funny moments lately. So I've talked a lot about them already in this video, but some quick little stories to tell you. I was on my live earlier. I'm trying to remember exactly what the phrase was that I said. Micah got like the zoomies is what we basically called it. He was just literally running back and forth from one end of the downstairs to the other, which is not that big, so we were hearing a lot of it on like the video and stuff. And I tried to calm him down a couple of times and just kind of encourage him to kind of redirect elsewhere. It wasn't working. And so we just kind of laughed and went along with it. We're like, okay, well, Micah's got the zoomies is what it seems like. I was like, well, we really have tried to make sure they're not eating too much of their Halloween candy, but I feel like maybe we need to be extra careful with it tomorrow. Anyway, so Micah's running back and forth. I make a comment about how Micah is bouncing off the walls. And out of nowhere, I hear Connor go, Mom, was that an idiom? And I was like, oh, yes, Connor, it was. And I'm like, oh, that's right. They learned about this in school. At the beginning of the school year. I remember he brought home a paper that was sort of explaining what an idiom was, and having like them, practice and learn some different ones and stuff like that. I just love that he internalized that, and just was like, "Wow, was that an idiom?" Like he recognized it, and he was like, "So what does that actually mean then?" And so I was trying to explain it to him as I'm still live, and people on the live chat were really kind of getting a kick out of that. It was very cute and very funny. Again, I'm very easily charmed, and I just love seeing my kids learn. I don't know if that just comes from, if that's just parenthood, or if part of that also comes with like knowing how much they've grown and progressed as far as what their maybe challenges are with regards to maybe their special needs and stuff. And so I just am always delighted when I see ways that like they're clearly like they're learning and, asking fun questions like that. And then a funny story about Micah is still very much in this phase of he loves being a helper. He loves getting to help with things. And Adam thought it would be so funny because Micah has been on this kick of whenever Adam wants to go get a soda, which all of our sodas like we have out in our garage fridge. Why do I feel like I maybe told the story in a WIP and Chat before? I might have. But anyway, Micah really wants to be the one, like he'll like push Adam out of the way and be like, no, I'll get your soda. And he'll want to run out there. So Adam thought it would be really funny because Adam graduated from even trying to go out to get a soda and just being like, Micah, would you like to go get me a soda? And Micah would jump up and run out. He's so excited. Adam thought it would be funny to be like, he's like, because I don't know if I made a joke or he made a joke about like Micah being a butler. And so this transitioned to Adam going, Micah, butler, soda. And so now Micah, now when he hears that, he knows, and he'll go, butler soda. And he goes running out to get Adam a soda. It's just so cute. So our kids are just, they're great. They're great. They have their moments. They will stress me out sometimes for sure, but they are also so darn cute, so darn sweet, and I just love them to pieces. It's ridiculous. So they've been good. They've been fun this week. As far as what I've been reading and watching and listening to, reading wise, I hate to say it, I have nothing to report again here, you guys. I don't have anything new to share. I guess if you could call researching like skincare for rosacea reading, like I've been down a little bit of that rabbit hole because as the weather is changing, oh my gosh, is my rosacea flaring up. I feel like I can feel like the just inflammation when I touch my cheeks now. I'm like, it wasn't this bad a month ago, like, and the weather hasn't even changed this much. So I'm kind of like trying to dip my toes into, like, I want to research a little bit about like K-beauty ways to kind of handle rosacea. I wonder if that might be something that could help. I also, probably would like to talk to a dermatologist, but we're a little bit restricted in terms of our options with that and our insurance and stuff right now. So I just am thinking, maybe I could explore kind of some maybe K-beauty options and stuff like that. So I guess, I don't know if you call that reading, but, and then watching and listening. Okay. These kind of go together because it's been both for me. And, it's been just like various YouTube channels. I have been on a little bit of a kick lately, and this one is a weird one, you guys. Okay. This feels very out of character for me, and I don't even know how to explain it. I was trying to explain it earlier. And, so let me try to do this briefly because I know we're coming up on the hour mark here, but because we're at makeup for last week, but I am in a Facebook group for cozy gamers, and someone in that Facebook group had, a post came across my feed where someone was saying that there was this particular like horror genre game of a ghost hunting game that for them was a cozy game for them because it was just very, it was almost like puzzly and, it wasn't scary to them. It was very it felt very cozy because it was very repetitive and that sort of thing. The game is called Phasmophobia, which just even sounds ridiculous. But what I ended up doing, because I have this weird thing where I absolutely never in a million years could play a horror game. I hate horror movies, but I will sometimes watch people play. Like I watched Adam play the first BioShock game. I could never. The jump scares, hello, no. But I thought the story was absolutely fascinating. One of the most amazing like stories and twists in a video game, especially at the time, like in a long time. And so sometimes when there's a game that people seem to be really interested in or say that it's like really fascinating or has a cool story or something, I will go and just like research and read about it because like it's not scary if I'm just like reading about it really. So I started poking around about this game and I was kind of interested because it does seem to have kind of a mystery kind of puzzle element to it, which I thought was really fascinating. And so I poked around on YouTube a little bit about it and came across this particular YouTuber who's also a Twitch streamer that just has hours and hours and hours of content surrounding this game. His voice is really relaxing to listen to. It's Insym, Insym, and so I don't know what it is, but I just have had these videos and live streams on just as like background noise, and it's just the most relaxing, chill thing ever. And I don't know what's wrong with me, but it's so funny because I mentioned this and a couple people in that chat and then in like Sophie's Discord were like, oh yeah, no, me too. And I was like, okay, so maybe I'm not totally crazy here. And including someone that was like, oh no, I don't play horror games either. I could never, but like, this is just it's cozy. And I was like, I don't know what's wrong with us, but okay. So that's been like my watching and listening this past week. It's been a little bit heavier of like more on like the special interest side of things. So we'll see how long it lasts, but for now it's that. And it's been like the Welsh twins who have their like respective like makeup and skincare channels. Oh, that wasn't supposed to be there. Anyway, okay. Misplaced a drill at some point there. So it's just been, just stuff that's felt very relaxing to listen to and watch, I suppose, because sometimes I'll look up and watch, but anyway, so that's my reading, watching, and listening to. And then what I have coming up for videos this week, I will have, today I should be having a couple of belated sneak peeks delivered to me from Diamond Art Club, the Christmas ones, the Stitch one, and then one from a couple weeks ago. So those videos will go up this week. I'm not sure which ones I'll combine and which ones I might do individual videos of. We'll just kind of see what happens. And then I'll have my monthly review, and then I don't know. I have some pre-filmed content, mostly post reviews at this point, and like a Pixels video that might go up this week. We shall see. So it's going to be another full week of videos, I think, because I do have a little bit of a backlog, but we'll see what happens. So, by the way, I have mentioned a couple of times in this video and just want to give a little bit of further details on it. I know I mentioned a couple of times a Patreon live stream and stuff like that. I do have a Patreon. I also have YouTube memberships available if you're interested in supporting me and my channel. Those are some ways to do so, where you also do get some perks in return, things like weekly vlogs or monthly live streams, depending on your tier. However, there is no pressure. You guys watching my videos is honestly just absolutely everything I could ask for and means the world to me. I just want to offer that option in case you're like, hey, you mentioned vlogs or you mentioned a live stream and I'm interested. How can I get that info? So that's always linked in my description boxes if you would like more info on that. But thanks for watching this WIP and Chat, you guys. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, what should we do? How about a ghost emoji? I know we've done one of those recently, but a ghost emoji just in honor of the the video game that I was just talking about, and also in honor of this week is Halloween. And if you don't want a ghost emoji, how about just anything that reminds you of Halloween? Because this is the WIP and Chat that will land probably about the closest to Halloween. So you guys, I hope you're doing well. Let me know how you're doing in the comments and anything fun you were working on while we chatted today. And I appreciate you a lot. Subscribe if you want to make sure you're not missing any of my diamond painting videos, including future weekly WIP and Chats. Have a day and a week that's as amazing as you are. Oh, everything accessories wise worked great today. Love the improvements on these trays. Great experience with the putty. Everything else I have used before. But yeah, just those two new things, just all thumbs up for me all around. So, okay, yes, have a day and a week that's as amazing as you are, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.